First test of YouTube Live with our new camera. So forgive us if we're having technical issues. And we're simultaneously live on Instagram. So just trying to get that set up now. Wonder how many of you are going to watch us on YouTube Live. It appears we have 2 people so far. Make your comments now if you're watching and you're here for the Pipamoka Twist Brewer. Just give us an acknowledgement, because this is really, like I said, our first time ever doing live with the new camera. The new camera requires a lot of technical majiggeries.
Don't know how to go live.
Let me try. Live. 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 Title. Testing the Pipamoka. Testing the Pipamoka by... Oh no. Okay. Title.
Oh, hello there from Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon.
Look.
I see your comment. Hi, Portland, Oregon. I'm really sorry. We're about to go live, and we're live. Okay, so we're live on both. Portland, Oregon. Grant Greer. Great to see you. Just let me know if you're having any technical issues. If you can see us and hear us, I'm tapping the mic now. So if everything's working okay, this should be good for the future, because we're going to do a weekly show like this with our live setup and the monthly cupping with the coffee tastings. So we need feedback right now, telling me how everything is looking. Are we live on Instagram as well?
Yeah.
Hello everyone. So we're live simultaneously on YouTube and Instagram. Well done. Okay. So it's very strange. I've got 2 cameras in front of me, so I'm talking to both of you. We'll probably make the switch over to YouTube, but I want to know from everybody if they want a simultaneous broadcast on Instagram and YouTube, or if the people watching on Instagram, are they willing to go over to YouTube in the future, or are you going to stick here to watch us on this weekly show? Because if that's the case, I'll keep it set up simultaneously. Just want to know from the feedback from everybody. So welcome to our Sunday edition of the Right Roast Show, and today it's going to be a test with the new Pipamoka brewer. So first reactions, that's what it's going to be from me. Not one of those slick videos where I test it out very carefully. More sort of just let's figure it out together. Yes, Aiko?
I can see Global Coffee Festival logo at the corner.
Oh, is this what we did from last time?
Yeah, that's not relevant.
Okay. Shall I switch it off? I'm going to switch it off. Okay, how do I get rid of that?
Maybe don't worry.
Is it gone? Should be gone.
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that. That was from the Global Coffee Festival setup. So, the Wacaco brewer. Right, does anybody own one of these? Or does anybody own anything by the Wacaco? Sorry, not the Wacaco. This is called the Pipamoka. Wacaco is the company, and Wacaco also make the Nanopresso. Now, I've tested this a couple of years ago. This is the espresso making compact device that uses this little button here with PSI pressure that builds up in this sort of device. I'm not going to crack it open and understand the science behind it, but this was a really clever sort of way of making espressos on the go camping, because you were getting pressure with PSI thanks to this little device, but it was strictly an espresso maker. So Wacaco have now come out with something new. I'll put that aside. And this is called the Pipamoka, and it's using sort of vacuum pulling air to create a brew that it's very strange, but it's like a reverse AeroPress. And I want to work it out. I've watched a few videos, but I think I'd like to brew it for the first time with you guys. And the coffee I'm going to use today, it's a new one by Assembly. This one is called Divina Providencia SL28. Now that obviously means that they're using one bean only varietal, which is the SL28, a Kenyan bean varietal that is headed over to El Salvador. Very interesting. It's an anaerobic washed process as well. So a lot of interesting things in this coffee. We could spend hours just talking about this coffee, but I want to know, I have brewed it already in the Kalita, so I know the taste, and I'm going to do a comparison today with the Pipamoka. So let's see what you get in here. First time I'm opening it, so everything I do here is going to be a little bit clumsy possibly, but here we go. the Wacaco. You get a full set of instructions.
Try to show it to the camera, yeah?
Yeah, you're very far away, but I'll show you. Get a little sticker, and that's the box. Right, what do you get inside? Well, you get another case. So they're always offering cases, and let's see. Okay, there it is. So everything will be in here. They always think about travel and camping at Wacaco. So don't think of this as the ideal home brewer. Probably going to be something more for travel, camping, that sort of thing. Right. So you get the scoop, and you get this handy little brush here. So you get a scoop and a brush. Now it's 2 scoops for 1 measure in here. So no need for scales. Again, they're trying to reduce any sort of dependence on extra equipment. Right, there's some sort of cap thing, I'm not sure what that's for yet. And that's where the magic happens. In this little container here, you put the coffee, right? And that's it, that doesn't come off. So you're going to put the coffee in here. Not going to use any filter paper. This is the part that I'm going to be analyzing. How good is this little metal mesh filter going to work? It's got not the smallest holes in the world I've seen. When we think about the Kona filter and what they're doing with metal filters these days, I really do hope for the tiniest amount of laser holes in the filters to be really small. Not the case here. I think they look, well, maybe. We'll see. Okay.
I am not barrister said where magic happens.
Where the magic happens. That's going to be in here. So, right. Let's get brewing. So I think it's to the grind. Oh yeah, the grind setting we were told is sort of medium coarse, something in between a drip filter and a French press filter, which is very coarse. So I'm going to go 30 clicks on the Comandante because that's already my favorite setting, which is the coarsest you can be on the medium, I think. So I'm going to stick to 30. That might not work. Might need to be it might need to go coarser or finer, but that's going to be a good starting point. So, don't know how, but we're going to measure out the beans in here, I guess. Let's see if that works. Okay. So I'm going to pour as much coffee as I can fit in here.
So what is it?
Right.
This machine.
This machine is a vacuum brewer. That's all I know in terms of the science. What I do believe happens is that as you drop the metal cone in here and then pour the water's in there and then you pull, the pulling action is sucking the air out and the extraction. So as the air gets removed, you could think of it as an anaerobic process of brewing. So you could be having an anaerobic processed coffee and an anaerobic brew, essentially. I wonder if that's the truth. Okay, so I'm going to grind the beans now, and I'll explain more as we brew, because it'll seem much easier to understand. Right, so I've put the beans in that I filled in here. That's 2 scoops. So maybe that's how I should do it. Okay, we'll put it according to the scoops. So that's 1 scoop. And 2 scoops. Well, there we go. I can already see that I can fit more coffee than I imagined. So when I scooped it just into here, that was less than 2 scoops. So the tip is use the scoop, not this as a measure for how much coffee you're going to use. Okay. Right. See, I've got room for a bit more. Okay. I hope that's right anyway. There we go. So 2 flat scoops into the grinder. If it's too much, don't think it's a big deal. I just don't want to waste any coffee. But
I think you need to put ground coffee to scoop.
yeah,
So
which is
you'll
why
get more.
this is why the measure is going to be a little bit off, I think. Okay. So like I said, I'm grinding at on the Comandante a 30. So find on your grinder whatever is a sort of medium coarse. And I think that's because it's an immersion brew, ultimately. So, coarser grounds for immersion brew. then. I hope people are hearing me on YouTube okay. We've got the microphone set up here. Get the grinder right here for a bit of asthma. You know? There must be a lot of coffee asthma videos out there actually already. Right, ground. Okay, so let's see if that 2 scooping of whole beans actually works to fill this just right. This is going to be an interesting mini test as to the procedure. Okay, so in goes the coffee, and it looks like probably too much.
I think you should have done in a different way.
Yeah?
Actually, yeah. You had to use the funnel and 2 scoops from the. So let's put it back.
So I have to put it back in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So use the funnel.
Yeah. Use the funnel.
Yeah, the grey thing in front of you.
This thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one on top
Okay.
of the container and show it to the camera.
What, like that? Ah, it screws on, yeah?
No,
No.
it doesn't really. It's just to hold the coffee grain not spilling.
Oh, I see. It's a non-spill cap.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's very useful. Okay, so now I pour the coffee in.
No. Use the
Scoop. Use the scoop. Right.
2 scoops.
Right. 2 flat scoops, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's 1 scoop. I see. Okay.
Getting it.
Starting to get it. Not easy to scoop your coffee out of a Comandante bowl, but maybe pouring it into the spoon is easier. Yeah, there we go. We're not going to be completely accurate today. I'm just more interested to see the whole procedure and evaluate the flavor. Okay.
Cool. So you don't need the funnel anymore?
Right, take the funnel off. Right, and then use the brush. I did see on the video that this doesn't work very well if you don't get rid of excess crumbs on the side, because you're going to seal it, that you don't want a crumb seal. So where's the lid now? Oh, there it is. There's the lid. It's got a rubber ring, so I'm going to clean the edges with this brush. Got to be really careful here. There's nothing on the edges. This is not like tamping an espresso at all. Think of it more as just making sure you have a clean bowl. And that's it. Right, so I'm going to squeeze that down. There we go. Squeeze down. Hopefully sealed right. It doesn't feel like it's airtight sealed. I mean, I can see the ring part bouncing a bit. I hope that's okay. We'll see, right? So now, what do I do next? Now I've got to pour the water to a certain level. So in here, they're really useful, but they've got these 4 lines that get longer and longer. And they are the fill levels for depending on what kind of brew you want to make. So espresso, filter, it's got 4 measures, 1/4, 1/2, 3/4 and a full. Now if you have a look, you can see the 4 lines. I'm going to go to the full measure. God, I hope this works. Okay. Still hear me on this microphone? Yep, good. Okay. Don't worry then. Okay. Right. So, let's fill her up. Now, where's that full line? The one line is the shortest, so that's all I need to look at. Oh, it makes a good sound. Oh yes, sorry. I'm using boiling water, so I don't know. That's something I'm not crazy about, using boiling water.
Also, can we rinse that maybe?
Okay, just quickly rinse that out then, and then we'll get going. And if anybody has any questions in the meantime, just know that we're using Divina Providencia SL28. A long name, but it's a great coffee. This is a new El Salvador by Assembly Coffee Roasters, a washed anaerobic. And what I love about that is that this is almost an anaerobic brewer. So we're going to have an anaerobic and an anaerobic. Right. I'm going to do it again, filling her up to the shortest line, which is the one all the way on the right. It's a very short line, so I'm going to fill it up to the bottom of that line. It's quite a bit of water. Right, there we go. That's it. Now, this is the fun part. So you take this little container and you drop it in there, and it's going to go sink down to the bottom. You've got to kind of tap it, make sure there's no air bubbles or anything like that, because vacuum sealed. And then when you twist it and pull all the air out, air bubbles are going to interfere with that process. So here we go.
People are talking.
All right, so I'm going to look at YouTube. Grant Greer, hello from Portland. Everything is crystal clear. That's great to see. Currently using Baratza Encore at home. I've never seen a Comandante and now need to get one. Just pouring my coffee with the Kalita away. This is great, guys. So you're joining in. Everybody should have a coffee at the same time as me here, because I always like to know what you guys are drinking. So I'm going to drop this now. Here we go. It goes into the Pipamoka and then just falls to the bottom. So weird. Oop. There it goes. It sort of hits the surface and then I can't turn it, but it just sinks really slowly, releasing a lot of air bubbles. So hopefully, wow, it's full right to the top now. That's why the lines are really important. Don't overfill, because even though you're below the water line, when you put that little metal container in, it rises up. So we don't want it overflowing. Right, there's still air bubbles in there. Right, this is another top tip. I saw this on the video. You've got to kind of tap it, I guess, get rid of all the air. It's still bubbling. I'm reluctant to close this until I stop it seeing all the air bubbles. Or it could be that I just have to seal it now. What do you think?
No, you have to get rid of all the bubbles. Is it at the bottom?
It's sunk to the bottom, but it's still releasing a few bubbles.
Maybe you're tapping too much.
No, I'm not tapping it at all now, and it's still just bubbly.
So I think it's still bubble in it.
Very strange. I don't know whether to seal it now, and I should be extracting the air through the mechanism, shouldn't I?
But the barista tip was like wait for 1 or 2 minutes.
Ah, yes. With the thing on, with the lid on, do you think?
No, I don't think so.
All right, we're just going to wait. That's right. I should say this is immersion brew. We're not talking about drip brewing or the AeroPress. Think of this as just a sort of French pull. That's what we could call it. A French pull. You let it immerse, then we're going to somehow suck the air out and then pull the coffee out at the same time, and it's just going to seep into there. Now it looks like the gas has stopped. You're supposed to wait about 45 seconds, so on goes the lid, and now the science part. So, twist.
For orange.
Orange, the big orange handle here, you just twist that, and this thing is going to, clockwise. This thing is going to get very long, and it's going to come all the way out. So it can take a while. And I think when I'm doing this, I'm pulling the air out. So you've got this kind of anaerobic thing going on. Very interesting. It's not going to explode or do anything weird.
I think it should be slower.
Okay. Slower.
Because that's the pressure you're making.
I see.
You don't want strong coffee, right?
That's true. And I'm not impatient about this, but I just want to get it right. And it's sometimes speed can be the right way. Too slow and it might be. This is going to fall off. Right. That's the other thing, is just be careful when you're brewing hot coffee like this. Don't hold it up in the air like I do. Okay.
Albert says hello from the south of Germany. That's
Wow.
for the demonstration.
Hi Albert, you're welcome. Great to meet you. South of Germany.
French pull and science part, great.
The French prawl. That's what I'm going to call it. Okay. It's off. So the whole thing comes off. Thank God. I was worried that the grey thing would just fall off. So there it is. My first brew with the Pipamoka. Okay, where am I going to put this? We've got a plate? No. Okay, if you can take that. Great. Okay. I can't tell if it's coffee in there or just water. So, should we decant?
Into the server.
Oh, perfect. So now we're going to see it. Here we go. Okay. And there's the coffee. Well, thank God it's the right color. Looks very light though, I will have to say. This was my first attempt, so I'm not going to hold against the Pipamoka anything wrong with this coffee. Always your first 5 attempts should be taken with consideration. Beyond that, if you're still not making a great coffee, then yes, you need to reevaluate, have you got the right brewer? But let's see. I'm very excited. Okay. Now, before I drink it, I'm also going to say that I'm not going to be extremely fussy about this, because the way this piece of equipment is positioned is not to be the most fancy of brewers. It's about convenience, practicality, reinvention, because they're going at this a new way, and compactability. That's what I love about Wacaco, is that they take their science of compacting everything to be easy to use and travel with as seriously as they do the science of making the coffee. So that's all I have to say. Now we'll drink the coffee. The proof's in the pudding. So I'm camping. I'm very grateful for having this equipment with me. So my standards are different when I'm camping. Let's see what it tastes like. There's a great smell. Well, extremely light, my brew, but I have to say I'm pretty impressed. It's really interesting. I mean, it's got the right flavor. I'm tasting everything I should, maybe in a slightly unusual way. The mouthfeel definitely is a bit more buttery, but I was expecting that. There's no paper filtering here, so you're always going to get a little bit more of that body come through with metal filters, with immersion brewing like this, anything like that. So I was prepared for that. It was how much that was going to take over that was going to be of concern. And I'm happy to say it isn't overtly sort of punchy or anything like that. Perhaps some people have been complaining about it being not strong enough, but I don't really mind that. I'm always into filter coffees, so this brewer might suit someone like me more than someone who's expecting really strong, punchy espresso-style coffees. They have got the Nanopresso for that anyway. Okay, let's see.
Where's the Nanopresso?
Nanopresso, right here.
And where's the box? Where?
The Nanopress?
No.
Show the box. For the Pipamoka?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Pipamoka box. Nanopresso.
Twist it so we can see.
All right. It's good. I mean, clean, bright, and this coffee is fascinating coffee because it has these wonderful sort of marzipan sparkles. And I'm happy to report that that unusualness, that brilliant kind of almost sort of heady sweetness is there, and just the right balance of it. So very excited by this brewer, actually.
Thomas said looks like coffee to me.
It certainly is coffee, but not as you know it. An unusual coffee, this, I have to say, and the unusualness is really brought forward well with this brewer. So well done, Wacaco. I think you've made an interesting device here.
Takeshi says hello from Japan. It's an interesting gear.
Oh, cheers. Do you have this sort of gear in Japan? I'm wondering. Do you have the Nanopresso there? What sort of equipment would you use in Japan when you're camping for making coffee? The AeroPress itself is an incredibly popular brewer for camping and trips like that. So this AeroPress does require filter paper, so that might be considered one extra thing to use. But the versatility of the AeroPress is what makes it, I think, an absolute winner in my books. The versatility of the Pipamoka, I have no idea. We can see that it can make some very light brews right now. I will test it one day to see how strong the strongest end can be. Obviously, less water, finer grind, that's how you do it. I just wanted to see at first how it can best approximate something clean, light, bright, like a filter coffee. And I'm pleasantly impressed with it. I would have to test it, I think, with a few more coffees, because we know how sensitive specialty coffee is. You could love a coffee in a brewer one way and then hate that coffee brewed in a different brewer. So some coffees suit more brewers than others. And it could be that the Divina El Salvador anaerobic suits this strangely anaerobic Pipamoka brewer. So not sure about that.
Sorry, someone made a comment, maybe set the microphone somewhere off the table.
Oh, because I'm banging the table?
I tried, but it's a bit
Bit quiet.
Yeah.
What if I put it here, but up like that? Is that good? Good range for the microphone? Thank you for all the feedback, by the way, because this will all help in the future. We're going to do regular shows like this. Everything looks great on the left camera. For those of you watching on Instagram, if you want to see this in a better format, wide, like this, instead of tall like that, just switch over to YouTube. We're going to be doing this once a week now. It's a kind of new thing, a YouTube live show where I'll report on, I'll test devices, I'll try out new coffees. It's a right roast show, so anything goes. Competitions, giveaways, we'll talk about our taster sets, our coffee clubs, I'll update you on new coffees out there. Lots of things to talk about in the specialty coffee world, so let's make this a weekly get-together, simultaneous broadcasting on Instagram and YouTube, but of course YouTube is the place to see me on the better camera in a widescreen format. And if you have a laptop, isn't it better to watch things on a laptop than on a phone? Okay, sorry. So AeroPress is one of my favorite ones. You can experiment a lot with it. Absolutely, Jonathan. I do love the experimenting in specialty coffee, but when you're camping, how much experimenting do you really want to do? So the AeroPress is great, obviously, for standard brewing. And I think the Pipamoka can be something for some people to add as well. If you haven't got filter papers, then everything you need is in one in the Pipamoka. And I like it for that. I just need to test it more and more because, like I said, paper filtering is the way that I like to brew coffees, and metal coners, things like that. Sometimes I worry that they can be too oily. This case, not the case.
Ground sets. I would love to try the coffee in Japan someday.
Yes.
A lot of great things.
Yes, Japanese coffees are wonderful. Specialty coffees in Japan are, yeah, fantastic. And they invented drip coffee in Japan, so we must all be very grateful to them for that.
We did episode like how many? 3?
Yeah, we've done 3 episodes on YouTube visiting Japan. So if you really want to check out the specialty coffee scene as we saw it, check out those videos. Anyway, we'll wrap up here by saying the Wacaco is a fantastic brewer, I think, so far. It's a very interesting one for traveling with. And yeah, that's it. La Divina, sorry, let me pronounce it right. Divina Providencia SL28, one bean varietal, a Kenyan bean brought over to El Salvador. And it's a wonderful coffee, full of unusual sweetnesses. I'll give a full review of this coffee, so watch out for that. And if you want any recommendations from us, we're on our web shop 24/7. You talk to us there and I'll recommend you a coffee that's right for you. Okay, and don't forget, edition 2 of the taster set. Well, there's not much left. There's not much time left, is there, to order it? Orders close.
1 week.
1 week left to order. The greatest thing to happen in coffee since coffee began. The Right Roast taster set. That's 5 coffees you're going to get from across Europe. And this edition, we've given it a Christmas theme. But yeah. There it is. So if you want to get hold of this, which is Coffee Adventure in a Box, it's unlike anything else out there in the coffee world right now. It's got, we curate 5 coffees from across Europe, and we put flavor first. So we're very flavor focused, and we want to make this as much of an adventure for your palate as it is as an experience to share with everyone in the community. So hope you can join us with that, and join us again next week for another amazing show.
Tasty5?
Tasty5 is the code to use. I keep forgetting, I'm sorry. Tasty5. Use that code, you're going to get the next 3 editions of the taster set, £5 off each edition. And we've got a refer a friend scheme, so tell everybody, because you're going to get £5 off for everyone you recommend.
And the theme is?
And the theme is Saint Nick's Treats. So Christmas time, we've got 5 coffees with 5 different Christmas themes in them. I'll explain each one to you in detail over the coming days. We'll be releasing videos as well with interviews with each of the roasters for those 5 coffees. So you're really going to be able to just learn as much as you can about each of the coffees as you want. So join us again. More adventures next week.
Whiskey Field Perspective says new live backdrop.
New live backdrop, indeed, it is. This is our sort of new thing, I think. We're going to do a weekly show, like I said, on YouTube as well. So join us for that if you want to see us in the widescreen. And I'll stay on Instagram for other impromptu videos. But like I said, we want to switch over to the widescreen format. So thanks for joining us, guys.
And YouTube is being chatty.
Oh, sorry. I have to look at comments on YouTube. Right. What else is here? I would love to try the coffee in Japan. They also have great shop online. Who are they talking about? Had a chance to... Karasu. They're talking about Karasu, a coffee we haven't tried yet. So one day when we go back to Japan, which won't be too long, we're going to cover a whole bunch more roasters that we haven't tried yet, including Karasu. So watch out for that. But I think we'll make lots more episodes like this to begin with while we're in lockdown. So join us next week for another one of these kind of reports, reviews, all in one shows. Great to see you guys. And thanks for the tech feedback. We're setting things up. It's going to improve every week. Okay. Signing off.
You have to stop.
Oh, I have to sign off. Okay.